This is not your regular egg curry. This egg korma is creamy, mildly spicy, rich in protein, yet it's incredibly light, there's no excess oil, and you can eat it with no guilt. One bite and you will never look at egg curry the same way again. So let's make this creamy, protein-packed egg korma in just under 30 minutes. And who says that healthy food can't be delicious? Hey everyone, I'm Shrikant Singh and welcome to our channel Happy Bellyfish. Today we are making egg korma. It's a type of curry, you can say so. And it's incredibly versatile. It works beautifully with other things, not just eggs, like chicken, lamb, paneer, tofu, and other vegetables. What I also love about it is that if life gets busy, you can freeze it for those chilly days or heartbroken nights, because good food makes everything better. Alright, let's get started. I'm hard boiling 6 eggs using an egg boiler. The eggs take about 10 minutes to cook in this gadget, and if you cook in a saucepan, it will roughly take about the same time. Once done, transfer them to a bowl of water, gently cracking the shell as you place them in. Let them sit for a few minutes and this will make the peeling effortless. For now, set them aside, and remember, when you're cooking in real life, you can prep the next steps while the eggs are boiling to save time. Now let's build the curry base. Start with roughly chopped onions. It's a different approach that we are using today. We are cooking this slowly with other ingredients, so avoid chopping them too fine. You will need 1 cup of sliced onions. Next, chop the tomatoes, and no need to be having perfect cuts here. Just make sure that they are fresh, they are ripe and slightly sweet. You will need 1 cup of these chopped tomatoes. Now for the aromatics, you will need roughly 1 tablespoon of garlic and 1 tablespoon of ginger. You can chop them coarsely because we'll blend them into paste anyway. Now take a pan and heat 1 tablespoon of oil, but if you want the best flavor, then go for ghee. Keep the heat on medium. This curry can be made in different ways, but no matter how you do it, the results will always be amazing. And believe me, 1 tablespoon of oil is enough. You don't need to make this dish extremely oily. Now add the chopped onions, ginger and garlic to the pan and give it a quick stir. Then add about 50 grams of cashew nut. That would be about 24 small cashews or 12 large cashews. So I'm giving you these numbers because you may not have a weighing scale at home and the numbers might help. Now turn the heat down. And here's why it is very important to maintain the correct temperature while you're cooking. We don't want to burn the onions too fast, and we are also using very little oil, so slow cooking is the key. And cashews are expensive. You don't want to burn them, which happens quite easily, and when that happens, it also loses its natural sweetness. So patience is the key, and let the onions cook slowly for about 5 minutes. And remember that you have to stir the contents in the pan from time to time and watch the onions sweat. So as you continue to cook, you will notice that how the onions have started to look a little more shiny, they are more translucent, and this is a good indication that they have cooked well, but they still retain the moisture, and that's exactly what we want. Now add the chopped tomatoes, mix everything well, and pour in 1/3 cup of water. Cover the pan and cook it for about 4 to 5 minutes until the tomatoes turn soft and pulpy. If they aren't fully ripe, they might take a couple of minutes more, so don't lose your heart here. And since tomatoes release a lot of juice as they cook, turn the heat up to medium to help them cook properly. Once done, remove the pan from the stove and let it cool slightly before blending. When you add it to a blender jar, add 3 tablespoons of water to help with the blending. And here's an important tip: never blend hot liquids. The steam can build up quickly in the jar, it will pop the lid off and leave you covered in the hot sauce. The paste that you will get after blending should be thick. It should be around 80% smooth with a little texture for that perfect consistency. And texture gives a lot of satisfaction. You will get 1 cup of this rich base, and now it's time to spice it up. And if you're wondering, yes, this paste can be frozen for later use. And even without spice, it tastes so delicious that you can come up with many different variations when you reuse it. Alright, let's get back to our pan, the same one that we had used earlier. There's still a lot of oil left in it, so no need to waste that. Add 1 tablespoon of ghee or oil and keep the heat on medium. First, we'll bloom some whole spices in the oil. This step is where all that rich aroma starts to build. So now we'll add into the pan half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 to 2 tej patta, some people call it Indian bay leaves, which it isn't, 1 inch cinnamon stick, 1 black cardamom, and 3 green cardamom pods. Let them sizzle for around 30 seconds until the oil becomes fragrant. When you get that warm, spicy smell, that aroma, lower the heat and add the paste that we had made earlier. But for those who dislike biting into the whole spices, especially the green and the black cardamom, you can take it out of the oil before you add the paste. And here is a quick lesson from my mistake. If you don't lower the heat, then the bits that were stuck to the pan from the previous cooking, they will burn too quickly. Stir everything well and let it cook for about a minute before adding our ground spices. Add 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 1 teaspoon of garam masala. Not everybody has Kashmiri red chili powder, which is fruity, it's mildly spicy, and if you don't have it, you can substitute it with ground black pepper or white pepper, and you will get the similar depth of flavor. But what will be missing here is the color. You will not get this color of the curry that I'll be getting. It will be much more on the lighter side, which is okay. A lot of korma recipes, they look light in color. So you can come up with a variation like this. Alright, back to our sauce and the pan. You have to remember to stir well. The cashew paste has a habit of sticking to the pan, so make sure you scrape the bottom as you mix. Now it's time for us to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/3 cup of water to cool the things down. And that's because we'll add a 1/4 cup of yogurt or curd, but there's a trick. You have to either whisk it beforehand or keep stirring it as you add it. Otherwise, it might form lumps. And if you're not a fan of yogurt, coconut cream is a great alternative. It makes a curry a little sweeter, which is a nice twist. You can toss in 1 fresh green chili if you want some heat in the curry, or you can add an extra teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. But you have to remember to remove the green chili at the end. I will show you when. Add another 1/3 cup of water to the pan. The cashew nut in the sauce will make it thicken as it cooks. So we have to add the water gradually to keep the perfect consistency. And this is not what you think it is. These are dried fenugreek leaves, Kasuri Methi. They add a subtle bitterness and an amazing aroma. Just crush about 2 tablespoons of it in your palms before adding them to the pot. And instantly you will notice the fragrance of the curry change. It becomes warmer, richer and slightly smoky. Now most people store Kasuri Methi in refrigerator. That's when it becomes very soft. So you must be wondering, why does my Kasuri Methi look so crisp? Why am I able to crush it into a powder? All you have to do is warm it in a pan on very low flame for just about a minute and it will do the trick. We will now add 1/3 cup of water again, and remember we are adding water gradually so that we don't mess up the consistency. Now for a fresh touch, add 2 tablespoons of finely chopped coriander leaves, and this is totally optional, but trust me, it adds a nice floral note to the gravy. Now it's time to add the eggs. But wait, why does my egg look golden yellow here? So here's the deal. I fry them in just about half a tablespoon of oil, and this makes them firmer, it makes it slightly chewy and much more tastier. Before frying, make a small slit on each egg, and if you like a little kick, sprinkle a 1/4 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This adds a mild heat that makes you want to keep eating. So this is how we trick ourselves. Bite into the egg, feel the spice, and then go back to the sweeter sauce. Classic Indian food diplomacy. Of course, you don't have to fry the eggs. Most days, even I don't. But sometimes when I want my health conscious friends to eat something unhealthy, that's when I do it. Now gently place the eggs in the pan. They're already cooked, so they just need to soak up all the flavors. You don't have to cook it for a very long time. Check the consistency of the sauce, and if you see that the sauce is very thick, it gets thicker because there is cashew nut in it. then add 1/3 cup of water one last time. But be careful here, this curry tastes best when it's thick. It should not be watery. Cover the pan, keep the heat low and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Now give it a taste, and if it's too spicy, take out the chili. If not, if you can handle it, then just leave it in. This curry gets better if you let it rest for a while, for at least 30 minutes, before you warm it up again for serving. If you want a plant-based version, then just swap the eggs for carrots, cauliflowers, broccoli, green beans and peas, chickpeas, and today when I had made this again, I used tofu in it and it was amazing. But if you wish to add poultry or lamb, then make sure that they are fully cooked before you add them to the sauce. This egg korma will pair best with steaming hot rice on a plate, with naan or roti, or even with a good slice of sourdough bread. If you want a healthier post-gym meal, then go for 2 eggs plus a bowl of quinoa or millet, even if that offends some people. So that was the recipe of a delicious egg korma without a lot of oil. And trust me, you will make it again and again. You will fall in love with this recipe. If you want to make butter paneer, there's another video I have. It has a similar approach. The spices vary slightly. I've even shown how you can make paneer from scratch at home. So check out that video. You will find the link to it in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have watched this far, then please remember to subscribe and support our channel and our work. See you next time with a new video.